The house is quiet. It always is. Heavy velvet curtains block out the sun, leaving the room bathed in a soft golden darkness. The air smells faintly of oud and something older, something like power. A single woman sits at the center of it all, legs crossed, silk robe draped like a queen's armor. Her phone is face down on the bedside table. She doesn't need to look at it. When it rings, it's not a question. It's a command. Her name is Alima Kaderi. To the outside world, she's invisible. No press conferences, no official government position, no photos in the papers. But inside this house, behind these walls, she moves the lifeblood of an entire nation. Oil. Every barrel, every shipment, every deal. The ministers who should control the sector know her name but never say it out loud. CEOs fear her, soldiers protect her, and presidents consult her. Alima didn't inherit this power. She built it, brick by brick, whisper by whisper, deal by deal. It begins 20 years earlier in a crowded oil town near the coast. Back then, she's just a clerk in a shipping office. No one notices the girl in the corner with the quiet eyes and the sharp mind. But she notices everything. Which tankers arrive late, which deals get delayed, who gets bribed, and who pretends not to see. She learns the rhythm of the oil trade like a musician learns a song. When a senior manager forgets to file a crucial document, Alima steps in quietly to fix it. When a shipment is delayed, she already knows why and how to solve it. And when the foreign partners visit, she listens. She doesn't speak, but every word, every weakness, every name is recorded in her memory. Within 5 years, she's indispensable. Within 10, she's untouchable. The turning point comes one stormy night. The Minister of Energy, drunk on imported whiskey and desperation, calls her. A shipment worth $70 million is stuck offshore due to paperwork. If it doesn't move by dawn, the government will lose face and foreign partners will walk away. Alima doesn't panic. She never does. She makes 2 calls. One to the port authority, one to a man in London who owes her a favor. By 4 a.m., the tanker is moving. By sunrise, the minister is on his knees, thanking her like a priest before an altar. That night, the balance of power shifts. From then on, the deals stop going through ministries. They go through her. Alima doesn't wear a badge or hold a title. But the country's entire oil flow starts passing through her invisible hands. She operates from her bedroom, not an office, not a boardroom, a bedroom. Because no one suspects that the most powerful person in the energy sector sleeps on embroidered silk sheets. It gives her control. It gives her silence. And most importantly, it gives her plausible deniability. No records, no memos, only whispers. Alima builds an empire out of loyalty and fear. She pays port officials children's school fees before they even ask. She sends anonymous envelopes with cash to journalists months before a leak could happen. She throws lavish parties where no photos are allowed, but every politician attends. And slowly, ministers retire. CEOs step down, presidents change, but she remains. By the 15th year, foreign oil companies treat her like an unofficial minister. She negotiates billion-dollar contracts wearing slippers and a silk robe. Executives fly halfway across the world to sit on the edge of her velvet couch. Some call her the Queen. Others call her the Silent General. But no one dares say her name in public. Her power is quiet but absolute. The state believes it controls its oil. But in truth, she does. Tankers don't move without her approval. Contracts don't get signed without her nod. And those who try to bypass her vanish from the game like pawns in a match they didn't know was rigged. But power like this doesn't come without enemies. There's a new president in town, young, ambitious, loud. He promises to clean up the rot. He creates a special task force to investigate corruption in the oil sector. Cameras flash, speeches roar, the people cheer. But in quiet corners of the capital, everyone whispers the same question. What about Alima Kaderi? She doesn't flinch. She's seen 5 presidents before him. She knows power is a tide. It comes, it goes. But the rocks remain. And she's a rock. Or so she thinks. One afternoon, she gets a message, a single sentence. They've found the offshore accounts. Her fingers pause in midair. It's not panic, it's calculation. She's always known this day might come, and she's always had a plan. 2 weeks later, a wave of arrests sweeps through the oil sector. Ministers fall. CEOs vanish. A few low-level players face cameras and cuffs, but Alima is untouched. She stays in her house, sipping cardamom tea, listening to the rain hit the glass. The president gives another fiery speech, but off-camera, something happens that no one sees. A convoy of black cars drives into a quiet neighborhood. Men in suits enter a house. They leave an hour later. The next morning, the task force's director resigns for personal reasons. Power once again bends around her like smoke around fire, but nothing lasts forever. A small journalist collective, a group no one took seriously, starts digging. Not in the obvious places, not in the ministries, but in the gaps, the side contracts, the forgotten tankers, the shipment that left on a Tuesday but was paid for on a Friday. And they find her name, hidden behind layers of fake corporations, silent partners, and dead signatures. It's not enough for a case, but it's enough to whisper to the world, she exists. Suddenly, her anonymity, her greatest weapon, becomes a target. Alima feels it for the first time. The air shifts. The silence she built starts to echo. She hears rumors in the corridors. Foreign companies are reviewing partnerships. A foreign government freezes a minor account. One of her oldest allies is seen leaving the presidential villa. The walls are closing in. But Alima doesn't run. She doesn't beg. She prepares. She calls no one. She burns nothing. Instead, she walks to her bedroom window and looks out at the city she's controlled for nearly 2 decades. A city built on oil, a city that doesn't even know her face. And then, like a ghost, she vanishes. No arrest, no press conference, no body. One morning, her bed is empty, her curtains are open, her phone is off. And the billions she controlled evaporate into offshore shadows. For months, the government tries to trace her. But she's already ahead, years ahead. Every deal she made, every dollar she moved was part of a plan bigger than the men who thought they were in charge. Some say she fled to a villa on the coast of another country. Others believe she never left the city, that she's still here behind a different door pulling strings with a new name. The oil keeps flowing, the tankers keep moving, but the question remains, who controls it now?